All right, welcome to the first episode of Shammpod. My name is Mettaworldzeke. That's my boy
I'm
Baboo.
Babu.
All right, yo, and we just gonna get it started. You know what I'm saying? Top 10 LeBron teammates. All right, Dean, you want to
Top
start?
10.
You want to
You
start with
kick
10?
it off. You go 10. You go
You
10.
you want me to go 10? All right.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your 10?
Number 10. I
Yeah, what's
got
your
my
number
boy
10?
Mike Miller. All right.
Oh, my God.
7 3-pointers in Game 5 in the NBA Finals against the Thunder. We got the shoeless 3-pointer Game 6 against the Spurs. All right, bro. The type of dude that spaces the floor. Dives for loose balls. Good role player. All right, great contributor. Put him at 10.
So my 10 is going to be everything you just said, which is an actual good contributor. It's going to be a real role player, someone who really is going to dive on the floor. And I'm going to go Udonis Haslem. There's several different
you're
reasons.
bugging. You're
There's
actually
several.
bugging.
No, listen. There's several different reasons as to why I have UD at 10. He's just an all-time Heat, an all-time player on the Miami Heat. He also was a huge contributor in the finals, 2012 and 13. He didn't average about 20 minutes a game. He, about seven, 6 rebounds a game. He was a key contributor, and also just his overall presence. Udonis Haslem is a great guy. LeBron James looks up to him. He's been a mentor for all these players. Let's be honest, bro. Udonis Haslem is one of LeBron's top 10 teammates. If we're gonna start with that, now go ahead. You're 9.
He's definitely a 9, and I'm pretty sure LeBron does not look up to Udonis Haslem. But you know what? We're just gonna let it slide and continue this. All right. We got Kevin Love at number 9. All right.
Kevin Love at 9
should be higher based on talent. But if we're talking about strictly teammates, all right, contributing to a role, he just didn't fit in. All right. At the end of the day, he didn't. He was the 5th highest scorer on their only championship win in the finals. Didn't even crack 10 points. We're talking about Tristan Thompson and J.R. Smith had better finals performances in 2016, all right? Never really showed up in the big moments. Bad at defense. I mean, a lot of this is not his fault. Of course, bad defense is. Scheme fit. The role really wasn't meant for him. He was kind of forced to do something that he wasn't used to. But at the end of the day, we're talking about, who's the best contributors for LeBron, and he didn't really contribute as much as,
All right, we're only at number 9, and I know your list is trash, but I'm going to go Shane Battier with my 9th overall LeBron James teammate. Battier averaged, he's averaged the 4th most minutes in the 2012 finals, and he typically was guarding the best player, and in that series, we can all agree that was Kevin Durant. Shane Battier for both of those 2 finals was an extremely important cog into the team, and without a player like that relieving the stress of guarding someone, because Chalmers not guarding anybody, Dwayne Wade is not guarding anybody. It's either LeBron or him, and Bosh playing the 5. So he did a fantastic job guarding Kevin Durant. Going throughout even during the regular season. I know this list I based off primarily of the playoffs because LeBron James is gonna. He doesn't need anyone in the regular season. He'll take us to the finals or us to the playoffs.
I don't talk about me. You can talk about you.
So I got to go with Shane Battier. He's a key player, great defender.
I don't think LeBron's taking 5-7 niggas to the playoffs, but I agree with you. I got Shane Battier higher on my list. All right, so for all those reasons that you said, fam. For number 8, we're going with a man's like Alex Caruso. All right, fam, not a lethal scorer. All right.
Please, I don't want this to be a troll.
This is not a troll.
Bro.
I'm being for real. He's a great
Caruso?
He is a valuable role player. Bro, the chemistry he has with LeBron is undeniable. He knows, bro, he's out here making timely threes, timely cuts.
Connection.
He plays great scrappy defense. You kidding me? He's a great role player. He's not a star, all right? None of that, all right? But he's a great role player. And that's at the end of the day, I can't name any one of LeBron James' teammates who knows their role better than Alex Caruso.
Okay, that's a great segue to my 8th player because I get it. The Lakers and LeBron has only been to the playoffs once with the Lakers. Players like Alex Caruso, Anthony Davis, those guys only had one real year with him. But for every reason you said, I'm going with Mario Chalmers, except for the fact that maybe he didn't know his role because I could get it. It could be frustrating getting yelled at every single day by LeBron James in practice when you know you're a good player. He was a star in Kansas. He was a great player in Kansas.
Okay, yeah. Year they won the chip. Tyler Handel was a star at UNC, bro. I don't care about college.
Listen. Both years he averaged 10 in the finals that they won the chip. And yeah, LeBron dubbed him as his son, his little brother. LeBron, it was unfortunate because he got to a point where he couldn't take it anymore. I don't blame him. They're all NBA players at the end of the day. You demand respect. Even if it's coming from LeBron James, who's clearly one of the GOATs in NBA history, he couldn't take it anymore. And Mario Chalmers was arguably his most consistent point guard throughout his career, in terms of the playoffs. Mario Chalmers was always there, consistent, hit a lot of big threes, hit a lot of big shots. And I get your argument for Caruso, bro, but it's been one playoff series. I get it. One playoff year, I get it. He's probably going to win the chip this year. But in terms of stats, Chalmers has better stats. Intangibles, Chalmers has just as much intangibles.
Better intangibles than Caruso?
Just as much. No. Just as much. You can go ahead with your 7th, though. I'm interested now.
Hey, I like Mario Chalmers. And I'm sad that he missed the cut for me. All right? Because I think he's a very valuable role player. I think that Miami Heat team had a lot of great role players. I couldn't just put the whole Miami roster on the team, you know what I'm saying? But we'll segue into my number 7, which is Shane Battier. The best 3-and-D player LeBron's probably ever had. I think that's fair to say that. The defense he played in the finals was crucial. Great at spacing the floor, really consistent. I mean, there's nothing else I can really say, all right?
He's a great player, but to have him as 7th best LeBron James team, you're bugging. Number 7, I got to go Big Z's, Jonas Ilgauskas. Come on, this guy has played the most career games with LeBron James, dating from the first 7 years in Cleveland. And don't forget, in 2007, he was the second highest scorer in that finals. Yeah, they got washed by the Spurs 4-0, but the Jonas Ilgauskas held his own against the likes of Tim Duncan and I don't even know who else they had at that time. Boris Diaw, I don't know. But he had 13 and 10 in that finals. And throughout the playoffs, he was pretty much second highest scorer on the team. Ilgauskas was just, at the time, a great big man. He was a couple All-Stars appearances, He was LeBron James' partner, he was his wingman. Like, even today, the relationship they have is great, People had some reports talking about Ilgauskas was a flopper or whatever, but LeBron came to his defense, that's his boy, And yeah.
Mike Miller's not his boy? Mike Miller's just like one of his best friends.
Mike Miller could be his boy, but did he not? He didn't do as much for LeBron James as the Jonas Ilgauskas did. I'm sorry,
they were on 2 finals teams together, two championship teams together. That's more
7 years. 7 years. Was Mike Miller the second highest scorer on the finals? Was he the third? Was he even the fourth? I don't think it was the 5th or 6th.
I don't have anyone on that first Cavs roster on this list. I can't put him.
And that's the thing. You can't overlook those first 7 years in Cleveland.
No, I can't.
Because players like Jonas Ilgauskas,
overlook those teammates.
I get it.
Yes, I can.
I get it. Mo Williams wasn't there the whole time. Larry Hughes wasn't there the whole time.
Mo Williams.
No, Marshall wasn't there the whole time. But people like Jonas Ilgauskas, who's been there for the entirety of his career in Cleveland, his first stint.
And what did that help him with?
Respect.
What did that help him with?
Took him to the finals. Went to the playoffs.
Took him to
pretty much every single year.
Took him to the finals. When I saw LeBron James scored 25 straight points against the Pistons.
He didn't take him to the finals.
They had no help on that team. He had no help on that team. And I'm including
the second leading scorer on a finals team. You deserve some respect. I rest my case. Go ahead with your 6th.
Because you're the second leading scorer on a garbage finals team.
Go ahead with your 6th.
He's not in my 10. All right, I want you to know that right now. And we're not talking talent. I'm talking about teammates. All right.
Yes.
You contribute.
Teammates. Even off the court.
He didn't contribute enough. All right. Number 6.
He contributed more on the court and off the court than any of the players you've listed so far.
Number 6. Rajon Rondo. All right. If it weren't for this postseason, I probably wouldn't have him in my top 20. But you cannot deny that he is the X factor of this Lakers team right now. All right. His court awareness, his vision. The fact that he can alleviate the
time. We're talking all time.
They're gonna win a chip. 104 chips. This isn't You're bringing up old Cavs teams that really couldn't do jack without LeBron. You take LeBron off those teams, that might be the worst roster I've ever seen in my life.
And I understand that, but you take Rondo off this team, you're telling me they're not getting close to this feat.
I'm saying that they are not gentlemen sweeping the whole league.
Rondo didn't even play the first 2 series, basically.
He didn't play the first series. He played the second series.
He came in halfway through, from my recollection.
I'm pretty sure he came in game 2 of that series, which would be their first win of that series. All right? But, I digress. You know what I'm saying? He's just a great role player. He alleviates the pressure of being a playmaker from LeBron. All right? And I understand the floor spacing's not there.
His role is gigantic. I'm not doubting that.
But the thing is, like, you have to understand, like, the thing that matters the most is the postseason. And he's coming up big in the postseason, bigger than all the guys you listed.
And now I'm going to continue on with my sixth, someone who you entirely disrespected. He may not be a top 5 LeBron James teammate, but he is certainly in his top 10, and that is Kevin Love. Now, let's be honest. Kevin Love is arguably, well, I'll get there later, but as a third option, he averaged 15 and 9 in the playoffs the years they won the chips. 15 and 9. I get it when you're talking about that finals, bro, but let's be honest. They played against the Golden State Warriors, and you know what they do? They space the floor. Mm-hmm. And you know what happens to players like Kevin Love who don't get to bang and get rebounds in the paint? Their minutes get diminished. That's not the point, though. Throughout the playoffs, he averaged 15 and 9 as a third option. And hope you know, you remember when Kyrie hit that huge shot, right? Remember that?
Yes, I understand.
Do you remember the play that happened after that? Right
yes,
after?
I understand that.
Do you remember
where Curry could have easily went around him, but settled for a 3?
Do you know the defense that he played on Steph Curry in that possession was arguably, like Mark Jackson said, was probably one of the best perimeter defense I've ever seen him play.
Fam,
so
to
undermine, no, it's my turn.
All right, keep on.
To undermine his importance in the success they had in Cleveland is outrageous. Because my list is predicated on the playoffs, and he was certainly important in the playoffs. But even the regular season, this guy Kevin Love had some really, really big games for him. As long as with the teammate LeBron James, but to have him not in your top 10 all time, or would you have him at 9 or something? That's just,
bro.
What's your fifth? Man?
All the other guys on this list were important to LeBron winning championships.
And he wasn't.
When you average less than 10 points in the final series that you win, Tristan Thompson did better. You're talking about big guys who can't bang, who aren't banging. They get less minutes and their role diminishes. Tristan Thompson was running around screens, chasing Curry. I don't want to hear none of that. All right, number 5, Ray Allen. The shot alone puts him top 5. If that shot doesn't go in, I know LeBron had 16 points in that fourth quarter. That shot doesn't go in, that series doesn't continue. I mean, look at LeBron a lot differently, and that's facts. LeBron doesn't have that 37 or 38 or 39 point game 7 to clinch this series. He doesn't get his second second Finals MVP. Like, that alone puts Ray Allen number 5 for me.
Yeah. And just to relay back on the Kevin Love argument, because I just it's not really sitting well with me. So in those finals, how many points did you say he averaged?
He averaged about like 8.5.
Yes, he averaged 8.5. He averaged 7 rebounds a game. Mm-hmm. He averaged an assist, a steal, and not really good block. Shooting, though, he had 77 from the free throw line. That wasn't very good. 36 from the field. That wasn't really.
Okay, but he was getting outplayed by someone in a similar position, Tristan Thompson, on the same team in a finals performance. When you're getting paid all those big bucks and you're averaging 8.5 points, I don't want to hear that. The amount of resources put into you for you to only put this up, you're not a top 5 player. Or you're not a top 5 teammate. You're taking away. I want to hear your 5. I want to hear your number 5.
All right, man. Just put some respect on Kevin Love's name. Like the same as yours, I hate to say it. My 5 is Ray Allen. Mm-hmm. The shot alone, in my opinion, changed the trajectory of LeBron James' career. Mm-hmm. It's undeniable that if he leaves Miami with 1 ring, it's inevitable failure. Mm-hmm. And the chain reaction events he would have set off throughout the rest of the league and how super teams, this, that, or formed would have been catastrophic. So, yeah, I got to give Ray Allen the nod off that one shot because that shot was ginormous for the trajectory of the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Damn, one of the clutchest shots. Might be the clutchest shot ever. Really. All right? I'm glad we agree on something. All right? Number 4, I'm going Chris Bosh. I feel like right now, we're going to start getting, like, similar answers. All right? I feel like the beginning 5 were, that's where niggas differ on, what's a valuable teammate. But Chris Bosh was everything that Kevin Love should have been. Like, it's incredibly hard to move from like being the star of a team, then transition into being the third banana. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of did that seamlessly in Chris Bosh. So I got to give him a lot of credit. He changed his whole play style up. I mean, just like being off a pure teammate, like, you could make the argument he could be even higher on this list. But just talent alone probably, puts him behind the top 3. So.
And that's great because he's higher on my list. My number 4 is gonna be Kyrie Irving.
Wow.
It was a tough decision. I'm not gonna lie. When I was making this list, I had to think hard. But let's be honest. We all know what Kyrie is. He's class personified, as Stephen A. would say.
Class.
This guy averaged 25 points per game in the playoffs. Arguably, aside from Ray Allen shot, who knows, could have had the greatest shot in NBA Finals history over Steph Curry. We all remember that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what I really looked for in my top 3 was sheer impact. And Kyrie Irving, if he was healthy for the next run, maybe if things were different in that series. But the fact that we're basing this all off one series, and yeah, it was a terrific series. He averaged 25, but he just can't get the nod in my top 3 because he did only win one ring with LeBron James, and my top 3 is going to win more than one ring with LeBron James.
So you're already saying that AD's going to win. Okay. I mean, I don't blame Kyrie for, them not winning more than one ring. Kyrie got hurt the first go around. And then after that, like, nobody was going to beat Kevin Durant with the Warriors. But man, my number 3 is Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? That's the best offensive fit LeBron's ever had. You know what I'm saying? Spaces the floor, can get it. Yes.
No.
The way he spaces the floor, the offensive fit.
Yes.
The way Kyrie Irving spaces
the floor. He can play in and out and shoot. LeBron James needs the ball in his hand. LeBron James needs the ball in his hand.
No, he doesn't.
Anthony Davis can let him hold the ball. Do you not watch these finals? LeBron James has the ball every single play.
You act like Ronald will be having a lot of the possessions in his hand.
Yeah, when LeBron's on the bench, and they say that every time in the telecast.
What do you mean? All right, bro. Hey, just let me talk. All right?
Go ahead.
He spaces the floor for LeBron to get into the paint. And that's something that's, been pretty hard for LeBron in these playoffs because the Lakers don't have great spacing. Like you can look at shooters like Danny Green and whatever, don't space the floor enough for LeBron to get in the paint. So they kind of like clog it up the defenders with like a zone defense type. But Kyrie Irving, great offensive fit with LeBron. Very talented. The shot is big, I mean, I think some people try to like overstate it because Kyrie, I think he only had 3 points that fourth quarter. All right, and that was the 3 points. But that was a game-winning shot, so you can't even understate it. I gotta put him above Chris Bosh, and he's more talented than Chris Bosh. But keep going.
My number 3's got to be Chris Bosh. Look, let's be honest. He did win 2 rings with LeBron James, and let's be honest. He, in my opinion, he's easily the greatest third option in finals history. You're looking at it at a list that could be Ray Allen with the Celtics, could be Ginobili with the Spurs, it could be
Klay Thompson,
could be Worthy with the Lakers,
could be Klay Thompson.
Look, that doesn't matter. It was after his time. Could be Worthy with the Lakers, it could be McHale with the Celtics. But at that point in time, I believe Chris Bosh in Heat was the greatest finals third option. And let's be honest, he averaged 14 and 8 in 2012. He averaged 12 and 7 in 2013. They won the chip in both years. He was consistent. That rebound that led to Ray Allen's shot should not be discredited, definitely.
Yep.
So in terms of impact plays, that's one that was major. And let's just be honest, like Kyrie Irving and LeBron James, they just didn't really get along that well. And it's unfortunate because I don't want to take that in consideration of my top 10 LeBron teammates because I really just care about, like you said, the finals and how much impact they had. And Kyrie Irving had an incredible amount of impact on LeBron James' career. But without Chris Bosh, that team doesn't work. That team doesn't work. And he just continuously just gets underappreciated in my opinion. And I just have to have him as my number 3. I have to.
Yeah, you know what? I can actually respect that pick. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with it, but I think you're right. Chris Bosh is a key component to that big 3 actually working. Having to take the step back.
He had some big shots, even in a regular season.
Facts. No, I remember. I think they played the Spurs, and he had a big a 3-pointer at the end of the game in the regular season. But number 2, Now I think we're 100% like the same top two. We're going with Dwayne Wade number 2. There, you really put Dwayne Wade number 1.
Say, nah, I'm kidding.
I was about to say.
All right, keep going.
Yo, Dwayne. All right. The thing is, theoretically, I actually don't think Dwayne Wade is that great of an offensive fit with LeBron compared to Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving. Like, because especially at that time of LeBron's career, LeBron wasn't that great of a shooter. He still isn't that great, but like, he's a rhythm type of shooter. And Dwayne Wade isn't that great of a shooter either. Like, if you look at the 2013 finals, they back off of Dwayne Wade and LeBron. So both of them couldn't really get it going like that for the first few games.
Great 3-point shooters. That is very true.
But you want to know what? Incredible perimeter defender. They had a lockdown. They had a lockdown team in 2012. All right, 2012, 2013.
I'll give you that.
All right, like he was a great perimeter defender, and also one of the biggest things that he provided was the leadership. He kind of taught LeBron, like, this is how you lead. This is how you win, and that's invaluable. All right, so I don't think he's as great as an offensive fit as Kyrie Irving, but for those type of intangibles that he added to LeBron's game, I can't put him below number 2.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Dwayne Wade's arguably, well, not arguably anymore. He's the top 3 shooting guard of all time, and I think that is pretty much a consensus around the NBA. Mm-hmm. Until maybe James Harden could overtake him, but at the time he is currently their best shooting guard in NBA history, and that counts. Yep. In terms of this list. Going down in all-time history, he'll probably be the number 2 behind Anthony Davis when it's all said and done. So you got to have Dwayne Wade at number 2. Second of all, he did average 23 points a game in 2012 playoffs, which is fantastic for a number 2 option. 2013, he did still only average 16 a game, which is not that great. But then again, that was the Heat. That was a Spurs series. No one really averaged crazy numbers in that season. Nothing really popped out. It was more, hard-fought series. Also, Dwayne was aging at that time. Let's be honest. He was definitely aging, and it showed. But yeah, Dwayne Wade, like you said, fantastic perimeter defender. Like you said, the intangibles that he kind of lent to LeBron James, for the rest of his latter part of his career are nothing short to be, discredited. The leadership, just the overall charisma and the way that LeBron James carried himself, I feel like he definitely, learned a lot from Dwayne Wade. And they're longtime friends. They've known each other for a while. It was very important. But to go down ahead of Anthony Davis, I personally just cannot, because as I segue, I'm just going to go ahead and segue into my number 1. I got to have Anthony Davis. Like, let's be honest. At this point in LeBron James' career, I don't think there's another player in the NBA that is so perfect for him to be teamed up with right now, because
really,
LeBron James can literally do whatever he wants and not really care, because you have arguably the best player in the world right now backing you up, doing whatever you need. And LeBron James can come alive in the fourth quarters, whatever he wants, and just take over games and still have that reserve tank. His minutes are down thanks to Anthony Davis. There's just so many things that he just offers them, and to watch LeBron James age, like, let's be honest, they're going to win this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win next year. And to win 3 in a row, I don't think that's possible, because by then I don't know how LeBron's going to look and feel, but I'm going to say it here first. They're going to win again next year. And it's going to be so easy on LeBron James because he has a player like Anthony Davis. Let's be honest. There's not another player in the NBA that can guard him. If you look at the West, what he did to all the players, first series, Portland, it was difficult to guard him. You had Whiteside, you had Nurkic, those are big guys.
Mm-hmm.
Take them out, bring them in, cook them, babies. Next series, you got, what was the next series? You got the Rockets, Oh my God, Anthony Davis, first game, he busted. He had a couple rebounds on him, something like that. The Rockets won. He can't do anything against PJ Tucker. He's locking him. No, I'm sorry. PJ Tucker, we know defenders like that. They can stop a player like Anthony Davis once, maybe twice, but in a 7-game series,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
sorry, they're not doing that.
Gassed?
Then you go into the third series. We got Nikola Jokic, who that guy's a great player, but that guy can't guard Anthony Davis. He can't guard a pick and roll with me and you.
It's not Nikola Jokic. You said you mean Yusuf Nurkic?
No, the third series.
Oh, my bad. I you brought the Blazers up first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So in the third series with Nikola Jokic, it's like, let's be honest, like me and you can score on a pick and roll Nikola Jokic.
Stop saying this. Don't bring me up, bro.
Being honest, bro. If
I worked on my game.
No, if I set a screen for you and I roll, I'm confident you can find that pass to me. Because you know what, Jokic gonna be here, I'll be here. But yeah, at the end of the day, next year Anthony Davis is gonna be entering the NBA season as the best player in the world, if not second best to his team.
Wow. Yo,
if not really second best to his teammate.
You're really bold. All right, I'm gonna tell you this, okay? Anthony Davis.
Who's better?
Anthony Davis is 100% my number one. I don't think he's the best player LeBron could possibly play with.
At this point in his career, name a better one. Oh, wait.
What do you mean? He could eat. If he's playing with Kevin Durant, you think that's not better?
No, not for this point in his career. Wow. Kevin Durant can't do the amount of things Anthony Davis can do.
I'm going to tell you this, though, okay? This is going to be the first teammate LeBron has that will be the best player in the world. I don't think he's going to be the best player in the world next year.
Who's going to be the best player in the world next year?
They can still be LeBron. All right.
And who's going to be the second best?
No, who knows how KD's going to be when he comes back. It could be Kawhi. But the thing is...
you know I love KD. And if it's not going to be Anthony Davis, it's going to be KD. But let's be honest. Entering next season. Entering next season.
I think
it's going to be either LeBron James or it's going to be Anthony Davis.
Hey, it could be someone coming out the cut. It could be Luka. Who knows?
Entering next season. Does that not make sense to you?
Yo, fam, what I'm trying to tell you is I don't agree. I believe that.
So who's going to be better entering? You can't say Kevin Durant because he's hurt right now. So name someone entering next season.
That's better than Anthony Davis. That's
not LeBron better than Anthony Davis next year.
LeBron James is it.
That's not what I said. If it's not him, it's going to be his teammate. I rest my case. That's the last thing I said.
Yeah, but I'm saying, yo, fam, like Kevin Durant could easily be that. It could come, like someone else could come out the cut. All I know is within the next 2 or 3 years, I believe Anthony Davis is going to take the throne and be the number one player in the world. You think it could be next year? It could be. All right? Like that's in the realm of 2 to 3 years. All right? Within that span of time. All right? I'm not just going to go ahead and crown Anthony Davis the best player in the world when I don't believe he's the best player in the world. I think he's going to make adjustments. I think he's going to get even better because he's still young, all right? But, there's an outside possibility that someone else comes in and takes a spot. I'm not going to rule that out.
Literally, there's no one else I can think of outside of Kevin Durant, but he's hurt right now. But when he comes back,
you can't think of Kawhi Leonard? You can't think of Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard is not better than Anthony Davis. He's not. I'm sorry, he's not. Anthony Davis should have been the defensive player of the year this year.
Yeah.
And he is a much better offensive player than Kawhi Leonard.
Really?
Yes.
Kawhi
Leonard did not show up in a 7-game series. I'm sorry. If Anthony Davis did that, you'd be chewing him out right now.
Yo, fam, Kawhi choked 100%. All right? I'm not saying, yo, fam.
And what reason?
He choked. Kawhi choked.
He's a player who's never been a fantastic offensive player, and he was living off the hype.
What do you mean? He had one of the greatest finals runs in NBA history. Let's not diminish what happened last year. All right.
I'm not. But offensive-wise, he's never been considered any.
What do you mean? He was a dog. He's a dog. You can't just you're belittling Kawhi Leonard too much. That I think is actually disrespectful. All right, Kawhi Leonard is gonna bounce back from this. I do not think it's a foregone conclusion that the Lakers will win next year when the Warriors are still a team. All right, the Clippers can come back stronger. Who knows about the Nets? Even though I don't really have too much faith in them or anything like that. But I definitely believe that the Warriors and the Clippers are actual threats to the Lakers. But anyways, and that concludes the first episode of Shammpod.
Drop a comment whose list was better. I think mine is.
Subscribe. You know what I'm saying?